Hello everybody, welcome to Adventure Van Conversions YouTube channel. My name is Christopher and today I will show you how we paint our vehicles. We show you at our channel a lot of journeys, a lot of van builds, a lot of van tours and some actions around it, but we usually don't show you some processes in deep detail. So this is why I am now starting this new series. You will learn some features of our vehicles. We will talk about how we make them, because this is also a frequently asked questions. If we insulate the vehicles for season, which electronics we use, which parts we use, and how is our technology. So in this series we will be explaining you part by part most important features and why we believe our vans are one of the top quality vehicles on the market. So let's start today with repainting the car with Raptor Liner. So what you see behind me is a brand new all-wheel drive Sprinter van, which was recently repainted at our facility. The whole work that you see was done by our workers in our own shop. It is not subcontracted anywhere, we do it ourselves. And I want to show you just little features and have a little talk about how we do it. So first of all, the whole car gets disassembled. Every single part of the vehicle that you can disassemble is disassembled. So all of the doors, so all of the plastic trims, all of the windows, all of the glasses, all of the plastic elements, all of the gaskets from these doors, from the left doors, from the side doors, from the back doors, every single part is removed and the whole doors are detached in order to get the best possible quality of the paint job. We want the car to look like it would be originally coming painted by Mercedes-Benz itself. So very often actually people ask us if this is an original paint job, because if you open the side doors, the sliding doors of this vehicle, or the side doors, or the bonnet, you can see only the new color. The only way you can see the old color is here in this area, because obviously when we are doing a camper conversion, we will cover all of these elements with our trims, with insulation, so it is not really worth to do it. If you booked a service which is only repainting your van, because we actually do that for our customers, we offer only the paint job as well, so you don't have to convert the whole van. You can also buy only this work. So when you want to reuse your van for different purposes and you would like to have it completely repainted with the whole interior in the back, it is also not a problem. So for example, these parts here, as you can see, every little part is repainted with new paint job. There is no visible old paint, so every single part there, even in depth there, inside of these holes there, you will see only the new paint job. This is also protecting the paint job from future rusting or peeling, because the Sprinters, the older Sprinters actually, they were known to get very rusty. These ones, the Mercedes claims to be zinced all the way to the roof, so they should not rust. But you know that in older vans there was a rust problem, so we also disassemble the side fenders and we repaint everything under there to protect the vehicle to the maximum level. As you can see, also we have the same effect here. This gasket, it was removed by our worker. All of these rubber elements, all of these plastic elements, they were all removed. after every painting, even when we know that the car is coming back from the paint shop to this place where it's going to be converted to a camper, we assemble everything back. So the workers who are working with the camper conversion, they will always have all of the parts. They won't have any missing parts. And if some part is not coming back to the van, then from here it is removed and not coming back anymore. But after the paint job, every single part has to come back as it was in a standard van. So as you see, they've had the back lamps, also they were removed. The bumper here was removed, and you can see that there is an old white color obviously in the back, because as I told you before, we don't paint the interior when we know that there will be a camper conversion. Before we convert the van to the camper, we put some material that is responsible for anti-rust priming. So before we install the insulation, we always cover that with anti-rust product that allows us to keep the van in a good shape for more years to come. The reason to repaint the car obviously is very simple. First of all, you have that protection, because as I told you before, the older Mercedes, they were rusting. These ones, the new all-wheel drives, are too young to say if they rust or not. So first of all, it protects the car. Second of all, it also protects the car from rusting. Second of all, it also protects the car from scratches, because Raptor is very resistant to scratches, and obviously you will not see these scratches so badly like on a normal paint job. Sprinter van is quite a large vehicle, so when you drive it between in a forest between all of the woods, you can get a lot of scratches on the original paint job. Third option obviously is the cool look. I mean, I love, personally, I love the Raptor Liner, and I love Raptor lined vehicles, but also I love them when they are made nicely. So in order to make it nice, you need some experience and some years of it. We are doing that from the last 7 years, and as you know, our vehicles have a very delicate and very light grain, so it's pretty much not so rough like you would usually find any Raptor Liner to be. So here we have a very, very nice structure, which is absolutely on point, and it makes the Raptor Liner look matte. Because very often you can see that there is a big grain and a very shiny kind of a light on Raptor. So it means that someone who was doing that didn't actually really know how to do it, sprayed it, and he thought it's okay. Another very important thing about Raptor Liner and the way how we do it is that when we remove all of the original paint job, you always have some places where you will see bare metal, right? So we don't put Raptor Liner directly on the bare metal. The whole car is primed with epoxy primer. 3 thin layers are added to be sure that any possible bare metal scratches that you normally have when you sand the car, they are eliminated and your car will not rust, because this is very, very important thing. Raptor Liner is a anti-rust product, but it is not the greatest, and it's not gonna work only itself as an anti-rust, so it needs epoxy priming. So the whole van, when it's scratched, every single place, also in these places here, every single part that we disassemble and remove the paint job, every single part is epoxy primed, and then it is covered with 7 very thin layers of Raptor Liner. So it is a really long process. It takes us from 3 to 4 weeks to complete one van paint job. This is done by 2 people. So we usually work on 2 cars in the same time, where one is getting finished, the other one starts, and obviously it takes a lot of time and efforts. This is why it is not a very easy process, as you can see it on YouTube, where people just sand it a little bit, they cover something with a plastic foil, and then they just spray it, and it's super easy, you know, and something like that. Obviously, this is also a way, but if you want to have a a quality premium finish that whenever you would go, for example, to Mercedes-Benz, the Mercedes-Benz workers will not ask you, did you do it yourself or did you have that car specially ordered at Mercedes, that the paint job is so well made. So these are the side pods that are extending your sleeping space, and obviously every time we repaint a car, we really want to install all of these elements before that have to be covered in Raptor. So we have experienced once that we've seen some builders that they spray paint the car, they spray paint the pods, and then later they cut them out. So as we know our processes very well and we know which steps we will be going on with, so we also install these units before, and also that allows us again to create a very nice finishing touches here. Everything is nicely sealed, there are no black lines, everything is nicely covered with Raptor, so also it looks very, very beautiful. So coming to the front of the vehicle, you will see that the bumper is painted in black Raptor Liner and all of the plastic trims. That car was very strangely painted originally. It was white colored with all bumpers, everything white. So usually we leave the original plastics, we don't apply Raptor on them. If you want, we obviously can do it, but in my believing is that when we leave the plastic parts in the beginning at least, not painted, the car obviously looks original, it looks OEM, and this is what we want to achieve. We don't want to have like a super heavy duty Raptorized vehicles usually. It looks good, I don't say it doesn't look good, it looks good, but for the beginning I really love when the car looks original. In that particular car we had to repaint everything, which looks very, very nice as well. So if someone decides that he wants to go with our philosophy of thinking and leave the plastics, you know, we can always repaint them, it's very easy. But also, like later on, you can also decide that you may have the Raptor line everywhere. I mean, with the little lines here, with the bumper. As you see, we left the mirrors not painted here because this is what I want. I don't want that Raptor, it takes over the whole car, and it looks just too heavy in the end. So the last part of such process is also the front, the bonnet. So as you see, also in here we have Raptor all over the place. So the whole bonnet is also disassembled, all of the trims here, and it is painted all the way that we can, everywhere that we can reach. It is painted all the way around the vehicle, and also all of these parts here are painted. The only place which is not painted is the engine bay itself, because that would obviously need that we remove the engine, and in a brand new car you don't want to remove the engine. Even in the older car you don't want to remove the engine if it's not necessary. So obviously we don't do that. The last place, the only place where you will see the old paint job is only here in the engine bay. So here you have the VIN number, so it's also good not to cover it with Raptor because it would not be so visible. So this is the only place where you can see the old paint job of that vehicle. So later on when we finish the vehicle with the paint job, we can also protect the underbody. In that particular vehicle you could probably see that the wheel arches inside are white. After the camper conversion, after we pre-install of the elements under the car, we then take them out when we do the underbody with wax oil product, that is a protective layer for the chassis, from under the chassis. We assemble back all of the camper units, all of the diesel tanks and everything, so the whole underbody is nice and black. We love that black color in the finish. So after this step that is called repainting, after the 3 to 4 weeks of work, the car is ready for camper conversion. Next thing to do will be installing all of the outside accessories, which are LED lamps, which is the elevating roof, any type of outside accessories like racks, backdoor racks, winches and everything, if we know that at the moment when we are converting the vehicle for you, obviously. If something comes later, we can always install it later, but now it's the time to install all of the things that are outside, the windows, and then we move to the moment where we install all of the insulation together with electrical circuits. It is a job that is blended together, so whenever we do electrical wiring, we also between time do insulation. All of these jobs are coming pretty much at the same time. Then we do the lining, and then we do all of the interior packages, but that you will learn in the next episode. I will try to update you with new episodes every 2 weeks. I'm not sure if that's possible, because obviously we have a blank canvas van which starts to be converted, but then later on we have, for example, a van which is nearly ready, and then we have a van which is getting insulated. So the whole series will not be based on that vehicle. Part by part, every time we have another part of the processes, I will be explaining you how we do it. So one more very important part of such paint job thing is that Raptor Liner is quite rough, and Mercedes and majorly most of the vehicles trims and gaskets are very hard. So whenever you close the doors and you have a heavy rain or you are washing your car, you can with the harder grain, you know that you will notice that you have some raindrops and water falling in your car. So in order to eliminate that process, we spray paint the internal parts of the car in a much lighter grain, like nearly no grain in here, and in all of the places where you have the gaskets coming and touching. So everywhere you will have a nice seal and you won't experience that water dropping inside. So we learned all of these things through the years of making these processes. So I hope that you liked that episode, and now you can understand the whole process that we have to go through with such a vehicle and such paint job. This one is a medium wheelbase, which is called L2H2 in Europe. In America it is 144. And a car of this size takes about 3 to 4 weeks, as I told you. With the long wheelbase, it takes slightly more time and slightly more, obviously, material, because, you know, it's quite a much longer vehicle. So if you want to book such a job with us, you can contact us at info@adventurevanconversions.com or info@vanlifepostdirect.com. We will give you a pricing, but generally the price for a medium wheelbase vehicles is about 4,500 euros netto, and the price for a long wheelbase vehicle is about 5,000 euros netto per conversion. That is for year 2024. So if you are watching this movie in 2025, 2026 or 2027 or even further, you have to ask us for the pricing, because it might change from that time. We usually have about 3 to 4 months of queue before we can do such service for you, so you have to ask us a little bit before. So if you want to repaint your vehicle and it is a super old vehicle, just be sure that its condition overall is quite good, because we do offer some minor repairs, you know, some minor rust spots and everything, but we do not offer any more of complete overhauls like we did in the past, because it's obviously very demanding and very time-taking, and our focus and aim is on delivering beautiful vehicles like that one in the back, converting them, doing the interiors, upfitting them with our parts with suspensions rather than working for a year or two on one particular vehicle. We really loved to do that, and it is still our passion, but we buy the vehicles that we want to overhaul and give them new life by ourselves. We do the work in the time that we want it to be done, as much as time as we need we put in it, and then we sell it as a ready vehicle. This repainting service is available only for our European market, because in the USA we don't have a paint shop yet, and it will take us a little bit time before we can actually build the whole structures in that country. And so I hope that you liked that episode. I hope that I brought you in-depth details of such job and how it is done, and why choosing adventure van is a good decision, because this is the major point of this movies, that I explain you why it is a good decision to choose our job. So I hope to see you in the next episode. I hope that you like that one. In the next one we will talk about insulation and how we do it and stuff like that. Thank you. Leave us a like, maybe a comment, subscribe to our channel, and see you in the next episode.